Hello, this video looks at the performance of Megumi Horikawa at the 2022 Budapest Grand Slam. She had a pretty impressive day. She showed some nice shimewaza, chokes, and she started off the day with a choke escape. So immediately she was under threat of this koshi-jime, but she was able to pin her opponent's shoulder to the floor and do the remove your sweater escape. Soon it was Horikawa's turn to show her own choking skills. So you'll see she's got the right hand collar grip, and when her opponent drops into seonage, she's going to whip that grip right across the opponent's neck. Here it is. So basically the koshi-jime variation of koshi-jime, where you use your hips to add force behind the back of the opponent's head. So round two, she disappointed the local fans in Budapest by taking out a Hungarian girl. Megumi Horikawa is Japan's representative at the World Championships for 2022. I think she has a good chance of winning. The three most dominant players of the last few years in this category, Clarisse of France, Tina of Slovenia, and Miku Tashiro, have all been missing in action since the Olympics. It seems like this division is open for a new star to emerge. In the quarterfinals, she faced off with the Australian Catherine Haker, and we finally got to see a bit of ashiwaza from Horikawa. Horikawa dominated in her previous Grand Slam performance with ashiwaza, particularly uchimata. She was able to finish this one off with a bit of osai komi after another osodogari attempt. And the Australian girl seemed to decide that it was better to save her energy for the repechage. She did very little to try to escape the hold down. It's the semi-final. She was against Britain's Gemma Powell. Gemma Powell's got pretty good newaza, but Horikawa was able to turn her after this failed seonage attempt. Looked like she was heading for the juji gatame, but Howell was able to push that leg into half guard, so Horikawa decided the better option was to go for the guard pass and pin, and she was able to pass pretty easily and win by osai komi. So in the final, Horikawa was against Szymanska of Poland. Szymanska has very good newaza. She's basically a newaza specialist, does a lot of sacrifice throws, but it didn't take long for Horikawa to get on the scoreboards. I can't tell you how long because they forgot to start the clock. So she scored with that ashi garuma. Initially it was called an ippon, but they overturned that and it was on the board as a waza-ari. So I think if Szymanska wasn't using a lot of sutemi waza, Horikawa probably would have been able to finish this one off with another waza-ari or ippon. But Szymanska showed some pretty good groundwork from the bottom, and Horikawa had to escape sankaku-jime a couple of times, and she had trouble getting through the guard of Szymanska. Almost got the sankaku-jime the second time, but Horikawa snuck the elbow out before the legs could be closed. So Szymanska is pretty tricky on the ground, but I think at the Paris Grand Slam she was pinned by Nami Nabakura. If you look at my highlights from, I think it's day 2 of the 2022 Paris Grand Slam. You can see that one, and you can see some of Zymanska's Juji-Gatame wins in that video as well. So Zymanska lost, but she showed a pretty good example of how to fend off a Japanese girl trying to pass the guard here. So I'll have another video up later today.